Alright boys, we got some stuff to do today. I had to have the windshield replaced on my Tacoma, and the first install they botched and it was leaking. I wasn't sure if it was the windshield or not, and they were trying to blame my intake because it whistles a little bit when you open the throttle, and so they were trying to say it was that, not the windshield. So I took the intake off and all my lights and stuff, so they had plenty of room to put the windshield in. And now it's all done and the windshield's sealed up and it's not whistling, so we gotta put all this stuff back on. So I'm gonna make a little how-to video on how to do an intake on a 2017 or newer Tacoma. Actually 2016 or newer. It's all gonna be the same for if it's a 3rd gen Tacoma. So let's get to it. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is clean this thing up since it's out and easy to clean up. It's pretty dirty from being in the engine bay. And we got to put a grommet back in it that's in the stock airbox right now. So some of the hardware for the S&B you have to reuse. So if you can find this stuff, I super recommend it. It's made by Chemical Guys. It's their trim coating. It's spray on, so it's not like super gooey or anything like really nasty. It smells good, and it'll protect the plastic. I just like how it applies because you spray it on, and it's not super oily. It kind of makes it more like if the plastic was brand new, and it's not like Armor All has that really. If you have the wrong product, it's like, it almost feels like someone wiped an oily rag on it. This is not like that. So you just spray it on, let it sit for a little bit, and then wipe it off. It's safe on all plastic. It won't hurt paint. If you happen to get it on paint, it's not a big deal. You just wipe it off. Okay. Alright, we're going to start pulling this stuff apart next. It's super easy, not a big deal. This should take less than an hour total, even if you've never done it before. So, yeah. Okay, step 1, rip this little shit off there like you don't care. It's got 2 little grommets that snap into there, and then the back kind of clips in, so when you pull it off, go up and then out. Step 2, you're going to open the airbox. Got 2 clips there. Step 3, undo your mass airflow sensor. Push down on the clip carefully. Sometimes it helps push in, and then there we go. So unplug that, lay it out of the way. We'll have to move this to the new intake once we get it installed. So pull these metal clips out, lift up, pull your filter out, yeet that into outer space. Okay, so mine was already loose. I didn't tighten this down when I installed it. You're gonna back this nut off, and this will get loose, and then you can pull the whole thing off the throttle body. You've got one PCV hose back here. It just pops off like that, and the whole thing's free. And then you throw this carefully because you still need your sensor. We're going to take the 2 screws out of it and pull it out. Next, you need a 12 mil. You're going to pull the 2 bolts out of the airbox here. One. There's two. Bottom box is loose. See, it's got a little snorkel on it that fits into the fender. The other airbox has that as well. First part of the box in, line up your holes. About right there. So if I remember right, I think this is all factory hardware. One of these is underneath the factory airbox because it's not used. You need all three. So they're all 12s. Thread them in. Thread them in. When you tighten these down, you don't have to go nuts, just enough so it's not, you know, rattling around. So this part's going to fit in there like that. I like to run my clamps both ways so they're easy to get to on top. Don't lose that gasket there. Just pull everything back, line it up, shove it on. Just like so. All the way on the throttle body. It's a little tight, so I'm going to back this off. Oop, wrong way. Okay, just back up. There it goes. Okay, so I just slid all the way on. Rotate it a little this way. More. That way. PCV hose is back on. Leave all this loose. Don't tighten it till you have everything on, because you might need to pull it left or right. We're not on the throttle body anymore, so this needs to go like that. Okay, as you can see, my filter's a little dirty because it's been used. This is called a pre-filter right here. It's extra. It doesn't normally come with this. It kind of helps extend the life of the filter itself. It's a fine mesh. It's a little bit water resistant. Obviously, you can't just like dunk this thing. I just got done cleaning it, so it just helps pull some of the bigger stuff out of it and keep it from clogging the pleats of the filter. So if you have one of these, take this and just pull it over the top of it like a sock. And they're made specific for the filter type you have, so you got to make sure you order the right one or it won't fit. Mine kind of they're elasticy, they kind of stretch out, and it's a maintenance item. You got to replace them every now and then, but that's how it fits. It goes on there like that. Make life easy on yourself. Orient your clamp if you're using a screwdriver or a driver or whatever to nut driver to tighten this. Orient it so you can get to it from the top super easy and you're not like fighting it on the side. Stick your filter in there and push it onto the tube. There's barbs on the tube, so you want it to seat evenly all the way around, like so, all the way back. And then we'll start tightening stuff up now that we're getting it in place. This is why you leave everything loose, so you can kind of move things around. Oh, we're going the wrong way. And you can break these clamps, so it doesn't need to be insanely tight, just tight enough. Push this back this way. Get her lined up with the throttle body. Like that. And shut her on until it stops. So, that's how that's done right there. Line up your clamps, everything looks nice and neat. Just like that. This is important, you're gonna have problems if you don't install this correctly. If you look on the front of it, it has an arrow and it's telling you what direction you need to install it for the airflow. And also if you look at it, obviously if you have it that way, the sensor's not gonna pick up any air. It's got to be that way, so it comes in that hole. So it goes in there, and there's a little adapter fitting. Let me grab that real quick. Here's the little adapter fitting. There's a little gasket that goes there. This fits in there like that. And that fits in there like that. And then it's got two Phillips head machine screws. The factory airbox will have, they almost look like a wood screw, so that won't work here. The intake comes with these. Use these. If you try and put those other screws in, you'll strip out the existing ones. Again, snug, it doesn't have to be insane. This is plastic. If you crank it down, you will break it. It's about like that. About like that. And then make sure you plug that thing back in. Otherwise it'll throw a check engine light. So me personally, I like coming underneath like this. Makes it look a little cleaner. Plug that bad boy in there. Make sure we're not ripping on anything. Everything should be fine like that. And then we just gotta put the lid on. The lid, if you care, be careful, because this stuff is just, I think it's Lexan maybe, it scratches real easy. So if you're not careful when you're goofing around, you're gonna scratch it up. I don't really care that much, so drop it on. There's a little O-ring that comes pre-installed that helps seal this box. And then you've got 4 screws with rubber grommets, 1 per corner. That's it. That's how you install an S&B intake on a 3rd Gen Tacoma. Most of the intakes are going to be the same with slight variations in install on all of them, but they all follow the same kind of route. Hope that helps. Alright, here's some bonus footage. I'm going to put my ditch lights back on also. They're rigid 360 series. I'm going to show some stuff that a lot of people don't do, but I think like really changes your level of install, you know, if it's like actually good or not. The 360 series, if you're using them as a ditch light and you don't order the fog light kit or anything like that, they come unterminated, so no connector, and then your decision on how to terminate it is up to you. The smart way to do it, in my personal opinion, is to put a connector on it, so that way if you have to take them off like I did, you don't have to cut the wires. It's a nice clean connection. You just disconnect it like something that's factory, which is something I always shoot for. I try for all my stuff to be factory-ish. The biggest thing is you want a connector, and there's a lot of different styles out there that are weatherproof. Reason being is obviously you're in the engine bay, it's going to get rained on. You don't want these contacts to get water in them. I personally like Deutsch connectors. It's a very common connector. They're kind of expensive. I bought that kit right there from Summit. It's got all sorts of different types in here, and most importantly, it has the crimping tool for the pins. So you can see how these work. For instance, this is a 2-pin style, so if you have something with 2 wires on it, you would use the 2-pin one. It's got the female, And the male, nope, those are both female. What are we doing here? Hang on just a sec. Female and the male. Obviously, you put your pins in the male side, or actually your one set of pins goes on in the connector, the other gets terminated on the wiring. This goes in the female side of the connector, so you can see the, let's see if I can show you this better. When the connector comes together, that goes like that, and that's what makes your contact. They push into each other. It's got a little lock that locks the pins in, different ones for different connectors. These are a 3-pin because this style light has an LED backlight, so there's actually a third power leg coming into this that kicks on the backlight for like running lights and things like that. See, they got a orange rubber seal, so when they clip together, same in the back where the wires go through, this is pretty darn waterproof. I mean, if you park your truck at the bottom of the ocean, yeah, it's gonna leak, but if you sprayed it at the car wash, go through a huge puddle of water, do a quick little river crossing, it's gonna keep water out of it. And then you can also facilitate keeping this stuff from corroding by putting a little bit of dielectric grease in your connectors when you build them, and that'll just help keep moisture from causing corrosion. So anyways, that's how you do that. I'll show you how to put my ditch lights on real quick. So, trying to just pop that little pin out right there. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I know some of these videos aren't the most interesting, but I'm getting better. I'm going to keep working at it, get some more content, stuff that's a little more interesting to film. Just trying to get my feet underneath me and understand this stuff a little better as far as YouTube goes. I do this stuff all the time, so I figure I might as well film it. But anyways, thanks for watching again. Really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, and you're enjoying these, the few people that are following me, if you'd like, or comment or subscribe, any of that stuff helps. If you want to do all three, go for it. Share it with your friends, whatever you want. Appreciate it. Have a good one, guys.